Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Virgo energy. I'm away from home and don't have my tripod, but we got the phone on a box, so we'll see how this works. Um, we're going to do 2 rows. The top row is going to be the actions people might be taking in their life in high vibe Virgo energy. They've went within, they've gained insight and wisdom about the past. They don't have an interest in repeating past patterns. They're willing to move forward in their life and invest in growing and maturing themselves, getting out of their fear, their insecurities, their pride, their ego, their self-limiting beliefs, whatever it might be. And the bottom row is going to be people who haven't went within to gain insight and wisdom about seeing life from a higher perspective, that life's about loving yourself and believing in yourself and believing you can manifest your dreams into reality. They might align with the more worldly view of life, that we do what the world tells us to do. Make your life about status and image and money and materialism, or you don't have to reflect on your fears and your insecurities or your prideful, egotistical nature. Just keep doing things the way you've done it. Everything will be fine, Could be a variety of ways, but we'll see what story wants to come out. Ooh, okay. People in high vibe, we have the message card, unexpected income, which I interpret income and wealth and things in tarot to be many different forms of abundance. Some of you might get a message that you might come into more money at a future time at work, which will make you feel very abundant. Otherwise, it could be the unexpected income. This card reminds me of the Six of Pentacles, kind of exchanging one foundation for another. And when we align with our more hopeful, believing nature and we invest that into tempering our more worldly nature of fear and insecurity, we are abundant indeed. And it is like having unexpected wealth in our life because we're not letting fear and insecurity and pride and ego and all those things run our life anymore. We're making decisions out of love and respect for ourselves and treating ourselves with compassion and kindness and forgiveness so that we can move forward in life. And when we tap into our more emotionally intuitive, loving nature and offer that to ourselves, that's when we know that we can manifest our dreams into reality in the distant horizon card, and we're willing to put in work and effort to bring that into reality, because we've now realized that kind of the key lesson in life is to learn to invest in yourself, to love yourself, to believe in yourself. Again, if there's one person in the world that should treat you every day with love and compassion and kindness and encouragement and be like a loving voice in your head, it should be you. Because you're really the only person in the world you control, and we shouldn't try to control other people. And you're the manager of your own life, and you're your only client. So if you want you to be very successful in life, in a loving, abundant, peaceful, joyful way, you need to create that environment within your own mind and way of being. And then the rest of the energy will kind of flow towards you because you're in abundant energy of like life-giving, positive, creative, inspired energy. Now, some people who aren't in that mindset, the thing is, we either empower ourselves or we look outside of ourselves thinking other people have the solution for us, or the world has the solution, or the things of the world are the solution to our problems. We were made to be self-sufficient and to know our own worth and value and empower ourselves. But other people who haven't learned to empower themselves, those people might be hoping to move forward in high honor with the world. The wealthy man could represent the world. Kind of reminds me of King of Pentacles energy, which is also represented by Capricorn, which is also represented by the devil. You know, when we align, true abundance comes to aligning with things that are abundant, aligning with thoughts and emotions that are abundant. I choose to focus my emotions and my thoughts on things that are loving and encouraging and supportive of me. I don't choose to invest time, energy, and effort into thoughts that are sad or belittling or discouraging. You know, we either focus on negative energy or we focus on positive, loving energy. And we have a dualistic nature. We can align with our more loving nature or we can align with our more worldly nature and make our life more about ego and image and materialism and indulgence. Some people who have aligned with their more worldly nature think it's just and fair based on their philosophy of life, because this privileged lady card and also the feminines in tarot can talk about our emotional state. You don't have to be a female. And the masculines in tarot can talk about how we present ourselves to the world, which could be nothing like what we are like internally. So keep that in mind. There is someone who emotionally, in shadowy Libra Taurus energy, it doesn't matter what zodiac sign they were born under, we can all harness these energies in positive or negative ways. There's some people who think it's just and fair because they still have lessons to learn in life, and they're making their life more about money and materialism and status and image and stubbornness and ego. And they want to manifest high honor for themselves. And they're hoping that someone else, see, not empowering themselves, looking to someone outside of them. They're looking to someone outside of them. It could be a male or a female. It's someone who presents themselves in the world as being very stable and abundant and grounded. It could be for some of them a Capricorn, but it's someone who they think they view as being in Capricorn energy, which in general would be someone who's very successful in the world, because people who harness a lot of high vibe or low vibe Capricorn energy, they could be people who put a lot of work and effort, and if they view them in Capricorn energy, regardless of what zodiac sign they are, they see them as being someone who seems to have the things of the world that they want. And they're hoping that person maybe will officially make them an offer and offer them things of the world. Their loving nature and loving people in their life who are very abundant in a lot of ways, maybe not having the status and image or materialistic wealth that some other people could have, but they're abundant. People who are abundant in love, you know, are a treasure. But they could have even gotten a message. Some people could have been moving forward and putting work and effort into a loving relationship or a job that they loved, whatever it is, you know, a friendship group, a family, whatever. But then they got a message from someone that maybe wanted to get into a relationship with them, and they decided to exchange resources. They had been more on a high vibe path of putting in work and effort in hope and faith and belief and love. But when someone, and maybe it all happened for a reason, because kind of like the divine knows what's hidden in people's hearts. And if the divine knows that these people in your life shouldn't move forward with you because they're not ready yet, maybe they'll never be ready. But we all get tempted in the world all the time, you know? I mean, in general, at any moment in time, we could go somewhere and indulge ourselves in some things that wouldn't be loving and kind to people in our life, wouldn't be loving and kind to ourselves, you know? There's all sorts of temptation in the world. But someone could have communicated to them that they would be willing to exchange money and financial resources with them if they would come get in a relationship with them. But they're not seeing things clearly. When we get tempted, that's kind of like listening to the devil whisper in our ear. And the devil promises us the world. You don't have to put in work and effort. Everything will work out fine. Go do whatever you want. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. I'll give you the world. But then the devil is in shadow. The devil isn't being truthful. The devil isn't being honest. The devil isn't operating from a place of love. They're operating from a place of ego. We either see the truth that life's about love, or we get caught up in our illusions and we're not seeing things clearly. And then we can be tempted by other people who play on our fear, our insecurity, our lust, our greed. And the people who are tempting us in this scenario anyway, probably most people who tempt us not to move forward with hope and faith and belief in ourselves and staying in relationship with loving, hopeful, believing people are probably operating out of pride and ego. They're maybe competitive. I want you to let go of those people and quit aligning with them. I want you to come get in a relationship with me. Can I tempt you with money? Is that your weakness? Perfect. And someone who emotionally, they were presenting themselves as someone who's loyal in high vibe Virgo energy, someone who puts in work and effort to be a nurturing, loving partner, because the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy and they become the King of Pentacles. Some people maybe weren't patient to keep putting in work and effort, believing in themselves, believing in the people they were aligned with in a relationship dynamic or a work dynamic. And when someone else said, hey, come over here, work with us, get in a relationship with us, emotionally, whoever this was, male or female, emotionally, it did align with their emotional nature and regardless of how they present themselves in the world, because we can all present ourselves whatever way we want in the world. Oh, I'm just, I'm fair, I'm loving, I'm loyal, I'm committed, I'm dedicated, I'm not selfish and greedy. But the divine knew their hidden nature, and our hidden nature is our emotional nature. In their hidden nature, they think it's just and fair to be more about themselves and their worldly nature of ego and image and status and materialism. And they went blazing right towards that person. And they're going to have some lessons to learn, because the person they're going to get in a relationship, if they think they're going to be like these people, they're mistaken. These people that they went to go get in a relationship, they turned their back on aligning with their more loving, intuitive, hopeful, believing nature. And then we reject outside of ourselves what we reject inside of ourselves. They rejected those people and the people in their life they could have aligned with to align with their more shadowy nature and be aligned with that nature within themselves. And that opens the door for other people to tempt them to be in relationship with them and play on their ego, their lust, their greed, whatever, their fear, their insecurity. And these people are not doing it from a place of love. It might be good for their image and status. It might make them seem like they're king of the world or whatever. Let's go ask some questions. What was the message that some people received? And so again, this can just happen within people. They were on a path, they were moving forward, and then their more egoic, indulgent, prideful nature said, you know what? I think we should go indulge in our ego. There might be people we could align with in friendship groups and work groups, whatever. Let's quit let's abandon the dreams we had that we thought we could manifest into reality. Let's align with our more egoic nature and go align with people in the world who maybe really seem to have a lot of status and image, because that's kind of what we got swayed by, you know? It's a constant battle within people, right? If they don't have good discipline within themselves, and especially if they got a message, hey, come align with us. Don't believe in yourself. Don't align with those people who are hoping one day that everything will work out and it'll all be really abundant. We got the money now. Come on over here and work for us, you know? But that's the whole thing. If you get in a relationship but it's not based on love, it will feel like a job every day. What was the message? High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Seven of Swords, because of the Eight of Pentacles. They got a message, maybe secretly, that someone wanted to work on a new beginning with them, and they wanted to move forward deceptively. They maybe didn't tell them that part. Someone could have just secretly communicated to someone they wanted to work with them, but maybe what they didn't tell them was, I want to move forward, but I'm being deceptive and manipulative. I want you to move forward with me. Oh, but by the way, sorry, I live more from my mind than my heart, and I might want to be the center of attention in the relationship. I might be afraid of people and afraid of working together with people from a foundation of love. I don't want to see the truth of that. I have conflict about being loving and being vulnerable. So I want you to move forward with me and put work and effort into a relationship with me. And I'm going to be kind of deceptive and manipulative with you. And that's kind of like us listening to our ego nature and the devil whispering on our shoulder. Our ego and our fear and our insecurity want us to align with our more shadowy nature, because they can then live our life and control our life. Our ego would be running our life. Our loving nature wants us to believe in ourselves and to invest in growing and maturing our worldly nature, tempering our fears and insecurities, and putting in work and effort to have true abundance in our life. The devil and the world will only give us so much. It will not give us true abundance. We might have all the money and materialism in the world, but it can be like a resounding gong, because if it's not built on love, we end up realizing it has no substance to it. So even someone's own ego could have tried to tempt them to align with their more ego nature and move forward, not in truth, but in ego, thinking they have a better idea. They have inner conflict about the truth, that things are about loving themselves and believing in themselves. And when they don't love and believe themselves and don't think they have to put work and effort to deal with their past pain and heartbreak, other people can come in and manipulate them. So, just like shadowy energy people in people's lives try to manipulate and deceive people, loving people try to offer people the resources and encourage them to move forward in their life and see life from a higher perspective and keep having hope and faith and belief in their dreams, instead of abandoning their dreams and settling for more shallow, superficial ways of living life. So when loving people get in a relationship with people who are tempted to repeat patterns of the past, the loving people invest within themselves to keep believing in their dreams, and they keep putting in work and effort to manifest their dreams into reality. Loving energy, like the divine, doesn't let negative energy get them in a funk or in self-pity or whatever. It's not, if you want to grow things, you have to stay in the energy of love. And we accept that people are where they're at. We don't let that stop us from manifesting our dreams into reality. We keep investing in ourselves and loving ourselves and believing in ourselves to keep manifesting those dreams into reality. And people who might have had some lessons to learn about learning to invest in themselves and love themselves, those people are going to get in some relationships to try to teach them the importance of loving and believing in themselves. Because when they don't, the world, I think, is set up. It's all about teaching us these life lessons. And when we don't align with our more loving, hopeful nature, people are going to come into our life that align with our more shadowy energy. It's like, oh, you don't believe in yourself? Cool, let's get in a relationship. Oh, you have fear and insecurity? You don't know how to stand up for yourself and love yourself? Perfect. You're my ideal partner. Oh, you kind of have some addictions, or you're kind of greedy and prideful and egotistical? Me too. Let's get together. So tell us about the people who are in shadowy Libra-Taurus energy. Or are in shadowy Libra-Taurus energy. Oops. Okay, I guess those wanted to come out. The Wheel of Fortune, the Temperance card, because of the Three of Swords, they're hoping that the wheel of fate will go in their favor if they're just patient, because they're living more from their mind than their heart. They really think, right now they kind of have their back turned to someone, and they're hoping if they kind of do that, again, people can be in a relationship and they're either open and honest and truthful and loving and just and fair, or they take a risk to be in their pride and ego and think, I'm going to turn my back on them. It'll confuse them because they thought we were both putting in work and effort to bring a dream into reality. But I'm going to take a risk to turn my back on them because I have mental conflict about trusting other people or letting go of my more defensive nature, or I kind of maybe like the relationship to be oriented more around me, where everybody else puts aside their pride and ego, but I don't, and I'm the center of attention. They think they should be the privileged person in a relationship. Those people are hoping that by turning their back on other people and not being loving, that people will quit putting work and effort into believing they can manifest their dreams into reality, and they will make an offer to them to get back in a relationship with them. They're manipulating them. They're using people's love for them against them to manipulate them. That's not loving. But they think it's just and fair for them to be stubborn and prideful and egotistical. And they think that if they're just patient, soon enough, people in the world will get heartbroken, or there'll be some just heartbroken people. If not the people they tried to manipulate, there'll be other heartbroken people. And if they are someone who at least presents themselves in the world in high vibe Virgo energy, like they're stable, grounded, mature, that they're going to be a very successful person in the world, financially maybe, they think there's going to be other people who are going to be willing to invest in them. And they're just waiting. Tell us about maybe this high honor that they expect to get. And these don't even have to be people you know. Keep it in mind. Some people get all upset because I don't even know why you're talking about that dirtbag or that bitch or whatever. It's like, I'm not talking about them. This is just the facts. There's people with a that we have duality. There's always going to be people in the world that we read about them in the paper. We see them on the news. We know people. It doesn't have to be anybody you were ever in a relationship with. But needless, we've probably all had some people in our life that were kind of immature, that were kind of manipulative, Could be a mother, it could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a child. Don't get all huffy about it. But we have to see the truth clearly about people in our life. I mean, if you had people who left your life because, you know, they didn't feel they were in love with you, they didn't feel whatever. If people are truthful and forthright, they're not trying to manipulate and deceive you. It's the people who kind of ghost you and are deceptive and manipulative because they don't want other people to know that they weren't willing to be bold and brave and confident and loving in a relationship, that they are maybe more self-centered or materialistic, and they don't want to be honest about it because they don't want people to see the truth about them, and they are being deceptive and manipulative. Maybe those are people you never dealt with in your life. Maybe you dealt with more people where relationships just didn't work out. That's fine. Okay, so the high honor that they're looking for, we have the Four of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Hangman because of the Two of Swords. Well, again, we have Libra energy here, so we all do what we think is just and fair. It doesn't matter what zodiac sign we are. We harness some Libra energy regardless. And it's what we think is just and fair. Some people think it's just and fair for them to maybe have a new sexual beginning with someone who feels stuck. And they could think that if I don't move forward with people in a loving, just, and fair, balanced way, and I choose to be more stubborn and prideful and egotistical and whatever, that either the person I was trying to manipulate will feel stuck. And I think when I see that they seem to feel stuck in whatever they were moving forward with, then I will take action towards them because they're not listening to their intuition, or they've gotten caught up in fear and insecurity, or, they're not seeing the truth of me. Basically, people that are in shadowy energy want to be in relationship with people who aren't listening to their intuition, and people who don't see the truth about them, and people who might feel stuck in life right now. And when we feel stuck in life, it's for us to listen to our intuition, to see life from a different perspective, see ourselves from a different perspective, see the world around us from a different perspective and different vantage point. I mean, imagine how differently your life would be if tomorrow you woke up and had amnesia and you didn't have all the past life experience that kind of makes you act and be and believe things in the world the way you do. What if you had a clean slate? What if it was just like, oh my gosh, like I just popped into life, like a child again in that wonderment, like, oh my gosh, this grass is so green. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Oh my gosh, birds. Oh my gosh, they make, when we really look at life differently, we can see just how amazing the world is that was created for us to live within. And we're meant to enjoy life and the world around us. We're meant to be in a place of gratitude and appreciation instead of, all the other bullshit we get caught up in life, right? And what if a person woke up with amnesia, and what if people told them, oh, you're this and this and this? They knew what they really aspired to be, and it's like, oh yeah, yes, you've been practicing for years to be an opera singer. Oh yes, you paint all the time, I think you're going to get an exhibit soon. Just think how differently people would believe and live their life if they believe those things, because there are things that we could put work and effort into. We all got unique talent, skills, and interests that if we put work and effort into them, those things that really inspire us and light us up, our dream might not come into reality the way we thought it would be, but we could be in that industry or in that profession, and doing things that we really enjoy if we didn't get stuck in our pride and ego and our self-limited thinking and ignore our intuition to guide us. And some people are waiting to get in relationships with people who are stuck and not listening to their intuition. And they think it's just and fair. Some people are really shadowy energy. It's like preying on people. Oh, are you sad? Oh, let me come in. I'll be like a savior. I'll present myself as being really grounded and stable, and that I'm wise, and that we're going to move forward in a relationship, and that I'm going to make you my partner. And it's all just an illusion, maybe, for them to indulge themselves in a relationship in pride or ego. Or the reason they're interested in the relationship is because you're either abundant materially and they want to be surrounded by luxury in life, or you're very loving and giving and nurturing and they want to be indulged in a relationship. And if you are feeling stuck and not listening to your intuition, some of you could have someone leave you and they're just waiting for you to seem. And the whole thing is, it's really interesting how people talk about, that it all kind of happens on an energetic level. Like people can sense when you are feeling stuck, or, like you're presenting yourself differently than what you really are. And people can pick up on that. It's kind of like a sixth sense, not really intuition, but I think it happens because of the way God created us, that's why, like, the divine knows everything, and we're all set up at a subconscious level to kind of know. You hear people talk about, if you listen to the near-death experience YouTube channels, which I have some of them listed down below in the video box. I find it really fascinating, but they say, oh, it's just like a play, it's like, oh, it's your turn to go on the stage. It's your time, because it really is as if we all came here to help each other learn and grow, and for the collective as a whole of humanity to learn and grow. And people have to go through certain life experiences, and humanity as a whole has to go through certain life experiences to see the truth and to align with love. And if we aren't doing that within ourselves, it's just like people will be drawn and magnetized to come into our life because it's like, oh, I'm here to teach you a lesson, They don't even realize that, I guess we're all in God's play or something like that. And anyway, sometimes the thing that helps humanity grow is to see how beastly and awful humanity can be. And sometimes, when it hasn't gotten to a beastly manner, there's a lot of people who buy into that illusion. It's okay for me to kind of be abusive in my relationships. It's okay for me to abuse my power at work. It's okay. And they justify themselves until they really get a mirror shown in their face of people who really took it to the extreme, and it makes them feel ashamed of themselves. That I didn't act to the extreme that person did, but I kind of did the same thing. And really, the more we understand about ourselves, and it's all on degrees of extreme. We've all been selfish. We've all been greedy. We've all been prideful. We've all been stubborn. And there's just various degrees of it. We're all fallible human beings to learn lessons in life, but right now, I think there's some shadowy people in the world that are waiting to take action towards people who might feel stuck. And they're trying to present themselves as a abundant person in the world of high honor. And they're hoping other people will invest in them. Why aren't these people doing work and effort within themselves? They're spending all this time to create an illusion instead of putting in work and effort. Because of the Queen of Pentacles, because of the Seven of Pentacles, they invest in being more aligned with themselves being emotionally invested in ego, materialism. They could have money, and they think if they just sit there that other people will want to be in a relationship with them. They're definitely in more like receptive energy, because the feminine energy is more receptive energy. Instead of being bold and brave and confident in their life and presenting themselves in masculine energy, and again, we all take action in the world in masculine energy, this is someone who wants to be like a feminine energy in a relationship, regardless of if they're male or female. Just like any relationship, it doesn't matter if people were in a heterosexual relationship or a same-sex relationship. There generally would be someone who takes on more of the masculine type role in a relationship and someone who's more the receptive feminine role in the relationship. This is someone who wants to be in the more receptive role. They do not want to I guess put themselves out there. There's a wealthy man here that reminds me of the King of Pentacles. And again, this could be male or female. There's someone in the world who at least presents himself as being very stable and abundant and successful in the world. And this person wants to be their partner. And if they had been in a relationship up here with someone where they would have been the person who was more in the masculine role and in a relationship with someone who is more in the feminine role, regardless of what their sexes were, this person exchanged foundations and they decided, I want to be more in the receiving role and be in a more kind of like feminine role in a relationship. So maybe, interesting. Tell us about this King of Pentacles that they want to be in a relationship with. It could, for some of them, if I didn't say it, for some of them, it could be a Capricorn, but just somebody who seems to have the things of the world that they want. The person that they want to be in a relationship is creating an illusion. Yep, and the Magician card. Oh my gosh. Well, they are in shadowy energy. Well, just like people can be deceived by their own ego nature, like the devil whispering on their shoulder, let's make it about indulging. Who cares about those people? We don't have to give to other people. Let's make it all about ourselves. It'll all work out. Our ego and our worldly nature was probably all here to teach us lessons too. It was all an illusion. It was just a manipulation. I want to manipulate you and control you. I have no intention of, kind of like the devil. If the devil does do something to make you have high honor in life, it's more because the devil wants to live through you, or your ego wants to live through you, whatever way you want to look at it, for their own benefit. It doesn't really have anything to do with you. It's your loving energy that cares about you and wants the best for you. Your shadow nature of pride and ego doesn't give a damn about you. only if it benefits them. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, let's go party and indulge in the world. And, oh, I'm sorry. Did that run your life in the ditch? Oh, are you addicted now? Oh, that sucks. Oh, is it over? Well, I had a great time. I don't know about you, but I had a great time. You know, and that can be the people we end up getting in a relationship with where they don't give a damn about you. It's for them to indulge in a relationship with you. You know, it's the loving, supportive, encouraging people in your life who tried to encourage you to love and believe in yourself that gave a damn about you. The other people just want to be in a relationship with you for as long as it works for them. Some people, someone had someone communicate with them that they wanted to exchange time, energy, effort, hugs, and kisses with them. And that person let go of loving people in their life to go get in a relationship with them, thinking it would move forward in high honor, that this person would offer them the gift of becoming the official person in their life. But it was just an illusion. It was just a manipulation. The person they went to go get in a relationship with just is maybe very competitive and prideful and egotistical. I see the people you're in a relationship with. I see that those people are very loving and nurturing and, you know, abundant in many ways. Well, that pisses me off because I have money and status and image, and I want you to choose me over them. I want you to validate my worth and value and say I'm more valuable than those people. Can I tempt you with money and materialism? Some people fell for it. And the person, it was just to boost their own ego. They never planned to probably move forward in a relationship with someone. But some people who got tempted by it, they're not giving up on it. They're waiting. They're being patient. If the other person that they went to go get in a relationship with, then, well, let's ask, why is this person having to sit here and be patient? The Justice, the Eight of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, because of the Five of Swords. You know, when you get in a relationship with someone who's more focused on money and image and status than love, if that person has someone else come along who has more money, more status, well, hey, sorry. You know, I'm all about myself in the Five of Swords. It's all about me. I like to be the center of attention. I want to look really successful in life. And I think it's just and fair to move forward in life. I just kind of juggle people. And, you know, maybe the person who made them an offer wanted to make someone else feel rejected so that the other person would do the relationship the way they wanted. And they needed to triangulate and get a third party involved. Oh, sorry. I just made you that offer because the person I was in a relationship was kind of like your partner. They wanted me to grow and mature myself. And I don't want to do the relationship that way. And I want them to do it the way I want to do it. So I want you to come back and get in a relationship with me. And then maybe the person they were in a relationship will have mental conflict about it. And they'll be willing to move forward with them anyway, even though this person is also being in shadowy energy and juggling and not really investing. But that's how they like to do relationships too. And the people who were tempted away, they were kind of juggling too. Lesson learned, you got in a relationship with someone who is just like yourself, and you got juggled and played. And if you want to keep sitting here and waiting for someone who manipulated you just to bother someone else and cause mental conflict for someone else, you can keep waiting. But I think they were only using, well, maybe not you, but maybe the person who left you. You know, they're getting, because they got caught up in their ego or fear or greed, they had people come into their life to basically kind of do the same thing to them, to make them see life from a higher perspective and see that that's not just and fair. And get out of their fear or ego and learn to invest in themselves and love themselves so they won't repeat that pattern anymore. There we go. I think we'll leave it at that. Virgo, I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.